Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. Going to be talking about the recent raids, Chaos Elemental, Calphite Queen, and God Wars Dungeon 1 drop rates that were released today. Sorry I'm a little late on this one. I actually just forgot completely that these were coming out today, and it wasn't even on the front page of Reddit when I looked, and it wasn't on the RuneScape homepage, so I only just remembered that these were coming out today, so I kind of am late on the video, but you know what? At least I remembered finally. But either way, starting off with raids, which is honestly very interesting to me because I am pretty annoyed with doing raids because I don't know, I really don't like the way the system works. I'm really just hoping that they change it so you can get Acto off loot and I can just camp it, because I will. I really don't like getting the team every 2 days or so. It's just annoying. And someone just leaving telly tabs on the floor. My telly tab. Mine. That's mine. Speaking of my bad luck, I actually just got Acto today. I got Acto Primeval Boots, so I now have 3 pieces in total and 2 pieces of the Mage set, which is really nice. That will be in my upcoming collection video. And I am still making that big collection of all collections series. I'm just working on the first episode, which I want to make epic, and I'm going to have one full collection done in that episode. You guys can probably guess which one it is, but I am only waiting on one more drop, and if I eventually get it, I will be releasing that video, so you guys can look forward to that. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on now to the drop rates. First of all, the raids, like I said, apparently there's a structure they wanted to explain. If you have less than 5 effigies, there's a small chance to get one from the raid. And then they add guaranteed drops, which are charms, pretty much only, and also Eret bones for Beastmaster. They then add supplies, which is either Bruise, Restores, or Eligator. Which you always get every time, I believe. And then they try to give you the Acto piece that everyone really wants. But if an Acto piece is dropped here, then you don't get anything below. But if you don't get the Acto, then there's a 1 in 20 chance to get a Codex. So if you get a Codex, you don't get anything below that. But if you do, so it's pretty common to get Codex. But if you don't get Acto or a Codex, then you get some Techie, obviously, to start saving up for the Degrade to Dust versions. And then there's also, if you don't already own the Little Tuzzy pet, it is a 1 in 512 chance to get the Little Tuzzy pet. So I guess if you get Acto or a Codex, you don't have a chance to get that pet, which is kind of weird, but that's just what it says here. And apparently there's also a 1 in 500 chance to get Razorback Gauntlets. And if he does drop those, then you don't get anything from the regular drop table. I have never seen anyone get Razorback Gauntlets from Beastmaster. I didn't even know that existed, but apparently it is a 1 in 500 chance. So if you ever get those, just like rage super hard because you didn't get Acto or Lil Tuzzy. Then lastly, they just pick some items off of the drop table, which is just more like a regular drop table. And Yaka tends to drop twice as many items as Beastmaster when they are dropping from this table. I don't really know what I should do right now during this video. Don't really have any skilling stuff to do. I need to continue buying these overload supplies so I can make another 1K eventually. But I don't really know what I should be doing. I could try and get some strange rocks if I have any AFK ones. Cooking, I could do some cook. Oh, I could smith some corrupted ore. That'll be good. All right. I just didn't want to be AFKing completely during this video. But anyways, yeah, that's the raids stuff right there. Pretty. Nothing too crazy in there. I'm pretty sure people estimated it was 1 in 20 for a Codex, and it's also pretty obvious that you don't get any other drops if you do get Acto or a Codex. And then it's good to know that the little Tuzzy drop rate, which is really, really low. But it's good to know that, and it's weird to see the Razorback gauntlets, but it's pretty much as expected, if I'm being honest there. So let's move on down to the bottom section where they go into more depth about the Acto, which is important to me and probably to anyone who does raids. So yeah, when you kill one of the bosses in raids, Beastmaster or Yaka, the game decides which piece of Acto you're attempting to roll using two different factors. Which combat style you use to inflict the most damage. This determines the style of Acto the game tries to give you first. So if you use magic on either of the bosses, you have a higher chance of getting the primeval, whatever you want to call it, primeval equipment. And then if you use range, tempest, or melee, whatever the hell it's called, I don't even know, Terralith, I believe. And then secondly, the boss you killed influences that. That determines the actual slot of Acto that you get. Beastmaster starts with boots, Yaka starts with gloves, and it goes boots, gloves for Beastmaster, boots, gloves, helm, legs, top, and then on Yaka it just goes gloves, boots, helm, legs, top, I believe. That's just off memory, but I'm pretty positive that is the order. But if you already own the Acto version of the armor that the thing tries to give you, like say you're killing Yaka with mage and you roll for the gloves, and you already have them, then the game will choose another style in the same armor slot. So if you rolled for the gloves at Yaka when you already had them, it would give you the range or the melee gloves. But if you didn't get either of those, then you would, like if you already had both of those, then you would get the next piece in the mage set. So you'd get the mage boots. So that's basically how it works. I mean, I'm sorry if that's confusing, but you can kind of, understand pretty much. It's pretty intuitive how it all ends up working. So it pretty much is what people expected. They knew that people pretty much knew that if you used a certain style, it would influence your chance. And then if you, I think the drop order was already known as well, and how that affected things. So yeah, that is that. Alright, sorry guys, I wanted to do some fletching for my strange rocks here, but I didn't want to show my my loot tab at the moment because I'm saving that for the video. So I paused it so I could get these magic logs out. But anyways, yeah, that is basically how it works. And if you own all styles within that armor slot, it will move on to the next slot, like I said. So it's pretty intuitive, like I said. So yeah, it goes boots, gloves, helm, legs, and chest in that order. And it is it's pretty pretty obvious. That's a pretty obvious order for it to go in, like in terms of the best to the, or the worst to the best in terms of slots. So yeah, that is that, and it has this weird priority order. It's all pretty intuitive, once you know the order and you know the way it works. It's pretty, you can pretty much figure it out. But if you own the full set of Acto in each combat style, then all the rules are just thrown out the window and they just give you a random piece. So that's interesting. So yeah, then when the game has decided which piece of Acto it might give you, it then rolls to see if you actually get it or not. And this is apparently a 3-step process. So each boss has a generous and a harsh chance. If the priority of the item is less than or equal to the priority of the boss, the game uses the generous chance, and if the priority is higher, the game uses the harsh chance. So that is like a really confusing way of saying it, but it's pretty basic if you know the priority things here. So basically, if you're at Yaka and you have all the gloves but you don't have all the boots, then you'll have a way better chance of getting those boots than if you were going for the helm, because the helm is a higher priority. Because Yaka is priority 2 and the priority 2 drop is the gloves. So if you have all the gloves, the boots are priority 1. I mean, you'd have to look at this post if you want to understand what I'm saying, but it's pretty obvious. So the generous and harsh chances are as follows. So the generous chance at Beastmaster is 1 in 35, which is only in place if you are going for boots. So if you aren't going for the boots at Beastmaster, like if you have all the boots, then you are on the harsh chance no matter what, which is 1 in 55. So pretty big difference there. And then with Yaka, it's not much different. The generous chance is 1 in 30, and that is if you're going on the gloves or the boots, either one. And then the harsh chance is 1 in 50 if you are on the helm or above. So once you have all the boots and all the gloves, your chances are significantly worse of getting the drops, which kind of stupid if you ask me. I don't understand why they have this generous and harsh version. Like, it should just be a consistent drop rate, but whatever. So basically, once you get all the helms or no, all the gloves and boots, your drop rate gets pretty shafted. But yeah, and if you're wearing Luck of the Dwarves, then the game improves your chance by 1. So take all those numbers and subtract 1, I guess, and you'll have the new drop rate. So not a huge difference. And then after that, owning the inferior version of the exact armor piece you're rolling for will have the chance value. So it is extremely important to have those. You can see I have mine in here. The ones you can buy with Techie. Primeval, they just are the same name, they just don't have Acto in front. And that is extremely important to have if you are going for Acto pieces, because it literally gives you a double the chance to get. So if you are on the boots and gloves at Yaka, then it is a pretty good 1 in 15 chance, or 1 in 14 if wearing Luck of the Dwarves, of getting them. And then once you are above that, to the helms and up, then it's a 1 in 25, which is still not bad. So as long as you have all of the pieces, then you are actually not at the worst chance in the world of getting Acto. So yeah, they also give a full example. It's not really important to go through that because I've already kind of been breaking it down myself. But in general, the drop rates aren't that bad. I kind of feel like they should be even lower though, because you can only loot these bosses once every 2 days. So like, I feel like they should take these numbers and divide them in half again, and then it'll be a reasonable drop rate, and you'd still have to spend a significant amount of time there to even get the drops. But that's just my opinion. You guys can, let me know what you think about them in the comments, but I really hope they change this in the near future to make it so that you can easily get the raids drops while you are off loot, like while you are you can't get regular loot, but you still have the chance to get the Acto pieces. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, just trying to avoid showing my loot tab there, just quickly getting out some food to get my last strange rock for cooking. Hopefully I can get it pretty quick. But yeah, that is raids. Again, I already gave all my opinions on that. I'm pretty steadfast in that. They have said they are going to be looking into that in the future. But yeah, I don't really know when they're going to be doing that. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully soon, because I would like to get the full Acto Mage set for doing Telos. High in Rage would help out quite a bit on P5, but we'll have to wait and see if they do change it. Anyways, God Wars 1 is pretty, pretty uninteresting if you ask me, but it's definitely like, kind of something that people would like to see the exact numbers are, just to see how close we were, because lots of people, we've done a bunch of estimations of these drops in the past, so that is interesting to see that if these were right or not. I'm not going to compare them, but anyways, here we go. At God Wars Dungeon 1, all the bosses follow the same drop rate, which is a 2 out of 128 chance to obtain a unique item, and it's an equal chance for any unique item if you do hit that roll, and that it is a 1 out of 128 chance and then a 1 out of 4 chance to obtain a God Sword hilt. So that is weird. I don't know why they word it like that. But what the hell is 128 times 4? So it's essentially a 1 in 512 chance to get a hilt, as far as I can tell based on their stupid wording. But if you fail that 1 in 4 after hitting the 1 out of 128, you get the 20k cash drop. And then it is a 1 out of 128 and then a 1 out of 2 chance to get a God Sword shard. So the shard is definitely much rarer than the uniques at bosses, but not rarer than the hilt, so that's interesting. The bodyguards at God Wars 1 also have a chance to drop unique items, and they have a 1 out of 128 chance to roll on the bodyguard unique table, which I don't understand, but each god then has a different chance to obtain a unique from their bodyguards. So it is a 1 out of 320 at Sarah, 1 out of 384 at Bandos and Armadil, and 1 out of 512 from Zami. And then you then have an X out of Y chance. And X is the number of unique items that can drop, and Y is the bodyguard drop table chance. If you don't get a unique drop, you'll get 1k coins instead. There's no difference in drop tables between normal mode and hard mode. What? There's no difference in drop tables between normal mode and hard mode? I didn't know that. That's fucking stupid. Well, that's interesting to know. And the chance to obtain a soul stone is 1 out of 25. So the bodyguard thing was a little confusing, but as far as I can tell, it's just hella rare, like, you know, as everyone knew. And there's nothing too interesting in this. It's just random numbers, but good to know that the hard mode is not any better. Calfight Queen is very boring. It's just a 1 out of 128 chance for Dragon Chain Body, and a 1 out of 128 chance, then a 1 out of 2 chance for Dragon 2H. So if I'm reading that right, then the Dragon 2H is rarer than the D-Chain, which I did not expect. But the Exiled Calfight Queen, it is just a flat 1 out of 128 for that. And then it is a 1 out of 128 for the KQ Head. So yeah, like I said, nothing too significant there really at all, so I'm going to move on. And then the Chaos Elemental is a 1 out of 128 chance at a D2H, and a 1 out of 128 chance to get the Ancient Warriors drop table. And rolling that will open up a new table where you can try to get the unique equipment for the Ancient Warrior armor, you know, like vest or whatever. And that table is a little bit different. It's kind of weird, but you basically have a 44 out of 224 chance to get any piece of Ancient Warriors equipment randomly. It's 1 out of 224 for a specific one. So yeah, that's pretty low, you know, because you have to already hit the 1 out of 128 and then hit the 44 out of 224. But if you miss that, then you're going to get either 3 random herbs, a weapon poison, or 4 dosed anti-poisons. If you get the weapon poison, it is more rare than getting any piece of Ancient Warriors equipment, so that's pretty rage-inducing, but definitely interesting that they have such a weird drop table included alongside the Ancient Warriors equipment. But it is Chaos Ellie after all, and it's interesting to know now that how rare it actually is to get that armor. But it's definitely disappointing to me that they didn't make the Chaos title only obtainable if you were killing Chaos Elemental. I really wish they had done that. I feel like it would have made it much more prestigious and actually given some life to the boss other than just killing it for the pet and final boss and stuff. But whatever. And that's it for this week. Definitely cool to see the raid stuff, and glad to know the drop rates so I can realize I'm not really all that unlucky at raids, I guess, but pretty much now I'm pretty average, I would say, that I've got my 3rd piece. But I really hope they either increase, well, I really wish they would just increase the drop rate regardless, but I really hope they make it so you can get drops off loot. But anyways, next week is going to be the Magister, Barrows, QBD, and the Dagonoth Kings. So the only thing that is a little bit interesting in there is the Magister. I'd like to see the actual drop rate of those Gloves of Passage. But Barrows, QBD, DKs, you know, whatever. We'll just, you know, I'll make a vid on it, but not gonna be too excited. Don't think there's anything too much else I really want revealed. It was mainly the raids was the last thing, but yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and my next video is probably going to be me getting my first 120 of Invention. I'm only 1 mil off. Literally have never gone to train the skill out of my way, but it's just happened because I use perks. But you guys can look out for that, and hopefully the collection video coming soon if I do get my last drop that I need. Peace.